Hey everyone, this is Jace with Popcorn Recap. Today we'll be discussing a drama-comedy film called Where the Heart Is. Nova Lee and her boyfriend Willie are about to leave their trailer and move to California. The car is so beat up that it's leaking gas. Nova Lee says goodbye to her friends and her family. Her friend tells her that the floor is missing in the car. Nova Lee tells him the best thing about the car is a license plate not having any 5s. She explains why she hates the number 5. On her 5th birthday, her mom abandoned her. Then when she had a job at a diner, she got stabbed, and it took 55 stitches to close her up. Her boyfriend, Hillbilly Willie, is very rude and takes a terrible photo of Nova Lee and her friends. As they're about to leave, Willie tells her it's already 5 p.m., and Nova Lee panics. Willie flicks a cigarette and ignites the gas. On their road trip, Nova Lee talks about how she wants a home that overlooks the ocean so she can sit on her patio chairs and read a book. But Willie says Bakersfield isn't like that. Nova Lee says she's just excited to live somewhere without wheels on it. Willie throws his drink through the hole in the floor of the car. A little while later, Nova Lee is snoring, so Willie rudely wakes her up. Nova Lee realizes her shoes are missing. She asks Willie to feel the baby, but Willie seems very disinterested. Nova Lee says, "You feel that bump bump? That's where the heart is." Who else gets excited when the characters say the title of the movies? Anyway, Willie says he doesn't feel the bump. Nova Lee spots a Wal-Mart and wants to make a stop to use the restroom and buy shoes. Willie parks the car and tells her to hurry. As Nova Lee is walking through Wal-Mart, we spot Moses, a photographer who's taking family portraits. Nova Lee waits at the stalls while jumping up and down. Once a little girl leaves the stall, she rushes in to pee. Nova Lee makes a very loud moaning sex noise, and the little girl runs away, asking for her mommy. At the checkout, Nova Lee sees a magazine about a mother giving birth to a 2,000-year-old baby. This is probably the Benjamin Button story. The cashier gives her back the change of $5.55. Nova Lee panics and walks out of the store without her slippers. When Nova Lee goes to the parking lot, Willie and his car are nowhere to be seen. She goes to where the car was parked and spots her camera. A Walmart clerk comes over to give her the slippers and her change. She asks Nova Lee if she's okay, and Nova Lee lies to her and says her boyfriend just went to get the car fixed. While sitting on the bench by the garden center, a woman named Sister Husband spots her and calls her Ruth Ann. Nova Lee looks confused and tries to tell her she's not Ruth Ann, but Sister Husband keeps talking. Sister Husband brings up her past and talks about a man named Brother Husband. Nova Lee asks if it was her husband, and Sister Husband replies no, he was her brother. Sister Husband gives her a basket of gifts and a buckeye tree. Sister Husband says goodbye, Ruth Ann, and tells Nova Lee to look her up in the phone book. With the last bit of her money, Nova Lee buys chips and a drink at the Wal-Mart food court. Then later, while Nova Lee is shopping, Moses comes over to her to talk. Nova Lee is impressed by his camera. Moses gives Nova Lee his card and tells her that he's there every Friday if she wants a photo of her and the baby. Walmart makes an announcement that they're about to close. Nova Lee looks sick and goes to the bathroom. She decides to stay in the bathroom while Walmart closes down. We see Willie continuing his road trip. He spots a girl on the side of the road with a broken down car. He pulls over to help her. He gives her a lift, and she puts her suitcase in his car. Nova Lee is now stranded inside Walmart. She looks sad, but makes the best of it by reading magazines, working out, and staying out of the rain. The girl shows a wad of cash, and Willie snatches it from her. He puts the money down his pants and tells the girl if she really wants it, she better grab it. The girl comes over and starts kissing him. All of a sudden, he's being pulled over. The cops find stolen goods in his car, and the cop asks how old the girl is. She says she's 14. Willie tries to run, but he's caught and arrested. Nova Lee wakes up to an alarm. She uses a shower head to clean up in the bathroom. While the employees start their morning, Nova Lee hides in a closet. When Willie is being booked, men start throwing kisses at him in prison. We see Nova Lee's morning routine. She wakes up inside Walmart using a sleeping bag and tons of alarms to wake her up. She packs up all the things she used and makes it look like no one touched them. We see her at a park flipping through her notebook, and she's taking account of what she owes Walmart. She realizes her tree is dying, so she goes to the library to find a book on buckeye trees. We meet Forney. Yes, I know what it sounds like. He's a librarian who takes care of his sick sister. Forney realizes Nova Lee doesn't really know how to read that well. Nova Lee goes to Sister Husband's house and admits she's not Ruth Ann, but Sister Husband still invites her in. Nova Lee meets Sister Husband's male friend, Mr. Sprock, who's preparing lunch. They say grace right before they eat, and Sister Husband asks God for forgiveness since she and Mr. Sprock had sex out of wedlock. They plant the tree at Sister Husband's house, and she's concerned about where Nova Lee is staying. She's unaware that Nova Lee is staying at a Wal-Mart. Night falls, and Nova Lee goes to Wal-Mart again. Forney spots her this time. Once inside, Nova Lee tries to sleep, but she feels pain. Then Nova Lee's water breaks. She tries cleaning it up, but the pain is too much. Nova Lee falls in agony, and she realizes she's on aisle 5, so she crawls to another aisle. Then we see Forney jump through a window. The next day, Nova Lee wakes up in a hospital and meets her nurse Lexi. Lexi tells her the reporters are here to interview her since her baby is now called the Wal-Mart baby. Nova Lee then sees her baby for the first time. Lexi tells her Forney came into the Wal-Mart to deliver her baby. Nova Lee calls her baby America's Nation. Nova Lee is interviewed by a reporter, and she looked absolutely clueless. While Nova Lee and Lexi are reading through letters from people, Nova Lee reads one postmarked from Midnight, Mississippi, about how a baby born out of wedlock is an abomination. They read other letters that are more supportive though, and some had money in it. Lexi leaves. Then a woman, Nova Lee's mom, walks in. A hospital staff tells her that visiting hours are closed, and her mother grabs the man's crotch. He leaves in a rush. Nova Lee's mom hands her crappy flowers. Nova Lee is still shocked to see her mom, since her mom left her at 5 years old. Her mother tells Nova Lee she's here to help Nova Lee, but Nova Lee doesn't believe her at first. After some convincing, naive Nova Lee starts to believe her. They decide to find a place together. Nova Lee hands her mom $500, which came directly from the president of Wal-Mart. If you ask me, $500 isn't enough. But her mom said she'll pick up Nova Lee and the baby tomorrow at 9 a.m. At noon the next day, Nova Lee and Americus are still waiting. She waits outside and realizes her mistake of giving her mom $500. Sister Husband surprises her and picks Nova Lee and Americus up to stay at her house. Nova Lee brings Americus to meet Forney. Forney is a bit preoccupied while his sister is calling for help. Forney holds the baby for the first time, and Nova Lee takes a photo of them. Willie is seen playing his guitar in prison and writing music. His cellmate throws something at him and they get in a brawl. A month passes, and a religious couple from Midnight, Mississippi stop by, saying they're there to bring the word of God to the Wal-Mart baby. Sister Husband shuts the door on them. Right before they eat breakfast, they say grace again. They ask God for forgiveness for having sex on the table. Nova Lee goes to get Sister Husband's car fixed. She meets a handsome mechanic, and they have hormones. A month passes. Nova Lee tells Lexi she's worried she might be pregnant again. Lexi tells her to jump backwards 9 times to prevent pregnancy. I don't think following advice from a mom who has 4 kids is a great idea. Yet, Nova Lee goes home and jumps backward 9 times. While at Forney's library, she realizes she's not pregnant and starts shouting for joy in the bathroom. She tells Forney she's done with men completely. Forney looks disappointed. He hears a crash upstairs and runs to help his sister. Nova Lee meets her for the first time and realizes how caring Forney is. At a flea market, Nova Lee finds an old camera. She brings it to Moses to help clean it up. Nova Lee tells him she wants to be a photographer. Willie is finally released from prison. Forney and Nova Lee bond a bit while picking up a tree. They bump into Lexi, who tells them her man left her and the kids. On their way home, Forney mentions to Nova Lee that Americus is exactly 5 months old today. Nova Lee rushes to get home where the cops are at the house. Sister Husband tells her Americus is gone. The cops ask them questions. A cop shows them a Bible found in the baby's crib. Sister Husband says that isn't her Bible. Then she realizes the religious couple that stopped by yesterday and a few months ago have the child. The cops rush to a church. Forney and Nova Lee follow them. Nova Lee rushes to the stage manger scene and finds her daughter there. Willie goes to a music producer, Ruth Myers, and starts playing for her. He's surprisingly good. The music producer cleans him up and says she's changed his name to Billy. She gives him a wad of coins to put in his pocket to suggest he's got a big bulge. His bulge shows while he's playing at a bar where no one is interested. After 3 years pass, Willie is finally recording in a studio. We transition to him being on radio that Sister Husband and Americus are listening to. Nova Lee walks into the room frustrated at the song. She says something about the man's voice rubs her the wrong way. Forney arrives and Americus hugs him. Nova Lee heads out to photograph a wedding. Later at home, Americus comes rushing in to tell Nova Lee a tornado is coming. Sister Husband says she's heading to her family's house to get potato soup before heading down to the cellar. The winds are super strong at this point. Nova Lee and Americus make it to the cellar with their neighbors. Nova Lee goes out to look for Sister, but hail forces her back in. Novalee goes out again and sees the tornado heading their way, then almost gets hit by debris. She tries going back in the cellar, but it's too late. The tornado's right there. Novalee is holding tightly to the stairs. Americus walks to her mom and is almost blown away, but Novalee catches her. Luckily, the cellar door is closed shut. Later, a funeral is held for those who died. Sister husband didn't make it. In the aftermath, Novalee takes photographs of Americus walking around the debris near the Buckeye tree. She gives the film to Moses, who seems impressed with her work. Lexi and Novalee talk about how Forney is in love with Novalee and Forney doesn't want Novalee to move out of town. A lawyer comes by and tells Novalee that she's inheriting Sister's estate, her land, insurance, money, etc., a total of $41,000. Next we see Forney, Mr. Sprock, and many others helping to build a new home. Novalee says she feels like Mr. Sprock should get half. Mr. Sprock said he got the kitchen table, which is the one thing he wanted. I wonder why. Willie talks to a famous musician asking for help since Willie isn't getting as famous as he thought he would. The musician warns Willie not to get on Ruth Meyer's bad side. Later, Willie waits for the elevator, and Novalee walks into the same room. Willie stares at Novalee's butt, not realizing it's her. Novalee is there to accept an award for her photograph. Willie makes out with a woman and brings her to his hotel room. Ruth Myers is sitting on his bed. Ruth tells Willie that a lawyer contacted her saying that Willie's cellmate wrote his famous song, Beat of a Heart. Upset with everything, Ruth walks out and no longer wants to help Willie with his music career. Then she punches him. Lexi talks about a new man she's talking to. When Novalee gets home, she sees Americus and Forney sleeping on the couch. Novalee takes photos of them. Later, Novalee gets a phone call from one of Lexi's kids. In a panic, Novalee rushes to Lexi's house. She sees the house disheveled. She finds a bloody and beaten Lexi, in pain. Lexi and the kids end up staying with Novalee. At night, Lexi explains what happened. The man she was with molested her children, and Lexi walked in on him doing things to her kids. Lexi hit him, and she said that's all she can remember. Novalee comforts Lexi. Eventually, Forney's sister passes. After the funeral service, Novalee finds Forney, who didn't even show up at his sister's funeral. Novalee and Forney finally kiss. They release some hormones as well. Forney tells Novalee he loves her, but Novalee stays silent. While doing laundry, Lexi admits she's dating the exterminator. Novalee takes photographs of a baseball team who mention how Forney can now move on with his life now that his sister is dead. It's almost a blessing in disguise, they think, since Forney can move out of town and do bigger and better things. Forney calls Novalee to come over. Forney tells her that he wants to be with Novalee and Americus. Novalee admits she doesn't love Forney the way he loves her. Lexi and Novalee go apartment hunting and discuss Forney. Lexi thinks Novalee just pushed Forney away because Novalee thinks she's not good enough for Forney, who's more well-educated. Eventually, Lexi and Ernie the exterminator marry, and Lexi is pregnant once again. Willie and a girl make a stop. Willie is visibly drunk and he stupidly goes near a train, falls over on the tracks, and a train is seen headed his way. On Americus's 5th birthday, Novalee is extremely cautious. She finds a paper that says Willie lost his legs in a train accident. Novalee visits him at a hospital where she tells him to stay away from Americus. Willie shows his lack of legs and tells her he isn't going anywhere. Willie recounts how he lied about not being able to feel a bump, how he was so scared he lied. He wishes he didn't lie. Ironically, this statement made Novalee realize she shouldn't have lied to Forney about not being in love with him. Novalee makes a trip to a college campus and finds Forney, but it looked like Forney was into a different woman. Forney catches her leaving and runs to her. Novalee admits that she lied because she thinks Forney deserves something better. Forney says there is nothing better than her. They kiss, and they get married. The camera zooms out and we realize their wedding was held at a Wal-Mart. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.